Hello viewers, I am Will Keith, and I am here today with a sort of mini review. This is a mini review because, as you can probably see, it's raining like fucking mad, and this has been going on and off all day, and I don't want to be trapped like in the woods when it starts raining with my phone and a sword, so I'm just doing this on my perch kind of quick. I have a couple of small bottles to cut, but that's basically all I'm going to be doing today, other than explaining what I have here. So, what I have here is the Ryujin traditional Japanese 1045 katana. Now, I found this on Amazon when I was looking where to spend my Patreon money from this month, and I found this. And along with the cold steel blowgun that I made my last video on, I figured that this would be the best option because I've been wanting to buy a new katana. I have a display in my room, like 5 katana on one side, 5 on the other side, and I was missing one to make it even, so I knew I had to buy a new katana. And another reason I bought this is because I have 2 Ryujin katana, and I'm getting the end of the sheath wet. I have 2 Ryujin katana, and they're the 2 best blades that I own. They're both worth between $250 to $300, and they're absolutely spectacular. So I wanted to see what a budget katana from Ryujin would look like in comparison to those 2 amazing ones that I have. So let's get her out of the sheath here. The blade looks good. It's completely straight, not flexed or anything. It has an obviously fake hamon that's just, brushed on there. That's nothing to be impressed about at all. Honestly, on a katana, I'd rather have no hamon than such an obviously fake one. But, that's just me. And it doesn't really speak to the quality of the blade itself, which seems to me to be surprisingly decent for a $50 katana. Yeah, this was $50 from Amazon. And as I said in the name of the blade, it's 1045 high carbon steel, which, is decent. It's the best you're going to get for under like $100, $120 on a katana. $120 will get you 1060, which is pretty proper good steel. 1045 though, it's functional. For a backyard cutter, it's going to do whatever you need it to do. This thing's going to do bottles, obviously, no problem. Tatami, no problem. It's just not something that I'd want to fight a samurai with. You know what I mean? It will flex. It might stay flexed, it might not flop back like a proper blade would do. But this is a very budget beater backyard katana, I would call this. And it is carbon steel, as I've said. And it is full tang. You have the, you have the Makugi going through there, 2 of them. And the wrap, I gotta say, I'm rather impressed with the handle on this thing. The wrap is really good. That's not coming undone. Another big problem with budget katanas is that the wrap is barely ever done well. This one is. The cap down here, I always forget. I always fucking forget the Japanese name of the cap. I keep going to pommel, but that's not it. That's European. Well, English, not necessarily European. But, I don't know. I got nothing. I gotta remember that. I look it up, I see it all the time, and then like 5 minutes later it's just gone out of my head. The Suba is thin. Suba, I know Suba, the handguard here. It's very, very thin. Let's see if I can kind of get it leveled up to the camera there. Yeah. Very thin, but it looks really nice. I like the way that looks. See the nice bamboo design on there. Even if it does kind of look like a weird, creepy, leggy bug. That's bamboo. And is it bamboo? It looks kind of bamboo-ish, but bamboo doesn't really flex like that. I don't really know what it's supposed to be. It kind of looks like a weird Cthulhu squid insect bamboo thing, but either way, I like it. And oh my god. Guys, I don't know if you caught that in the camera, but I just saw a hummingbird for like the first time ever in my life. And I know that doesn't sound all that impressive because I'm sure most of you have seen hummingbirds at some point. But I have literally never fucking seen one. And I thought I was staring at like a fucking giant moth for a second there. But it was a little tiny fucking baby hummingbird. Not baby, fully grown hummingbird. Little tiny thing though. Just hovering right there for like 5 seconds and then it flew that way. I don't know if that was caught on camera, but holy shit, that was so adorable. Alright. Sorry, I just fucking love animals, and when I see something interesting, I kind of lose it for a second. Back to the blade. Cheap, mostly functional, backyard cutter. It will do what you need it to do. So I'm going to set the sheath over here out of the line of fire and get to the cutting, not back to it. So I have my old tripod here, and I'm going to set it here, and I'm going to attempt to balance a water bottle on this thing. That was actually a hell of a lot easier than I thought it would be. And I don't have much room to cut here. I can't draw all the way back or I'll hit the wall. I can't go all the way up or I'll hit the ceiling. So I need to do kind of a inside close cut here. Pretend I'm fighting shitty peasants in a hallway. Feudal Japanese daredevil. Cut. Even like a really crappy cut, all tight like that, went through pretty easy. Got one more here. I really wish I could get a good swing in it, because like if that cut it, then I'm sure if I could get like a proper swing out of this, I could be able to cut it without dropping the bottom half. Not on this. This platform, there's no way that's going to happen. But if I was on my proper stand out in the woods, I think I'd be able to pull that off with this blade. I'm trying to see how far back I can swing here. I'm just going to go up as far as I can, and then it does its job. So yeah, it's a functional. I don't really want to call it like a toy katana, because this thing could still very easily kill somebody. It is still a blade. It is very sharp, but like katanas like this that are like $40 to $60, even under like $100, I can't call them a weapon, because if I'm calling something a weapon, I'm imagining something that's gonna like last through the first months of a zombie apocalypse. You know what I mean? And this, I know for a fact that if I like smacked it sideways against a piece of wood or something, it would flex. But I'm not gonna do that, because I like the blades that I have. It's yeah. See how straight that is? That's actually kind of rare for a super cheap katanas. They usually come with at least a tiny bend in it. You know, it's weird because I'm looking in the screen, and in the screen, I don't know if it's just because I can't hold it straight, but it looks like there's a little bit of flex to it, but there really isn't. I don't know, that just must be how it looks in the screen. There's absolutely no bend in this whatsoever. Alright, so that's all the bottles I have. And, oh yeah, my complaints about this. I've only been talking about what makes it good for such a cheap blade. You can tell where they skimped. Like, if you get a $50 or $60 Musashi blade, just looking at it, you're not going to be able to tell. Like, looking at it in the sheath, you're not going to be able to tell that it's a super cheap katana. However, there's definitely signs that it's a budget blade. The sheath has a plastic coating. It's not all hard wood. It's got a little bit of wood on the inside. I don't know if you can see it in there if it's too dark. But the outside is really shitty feeling plastic. It's not even good feeling plastic like that cold steel stuff they make the broken out of. It's just really shitty plastic. Like I mentioned earlier, the handguard is really thin, so you can see that they saved on material in there. But I actually kind of like that because it reduces the weight of the blade. There's just a lot of stuff about this. The little washer here, I again don't know what to call this, but this bit, that's plastic, not metal. So they definitely cut out everything they could to reduce the price of the blade and to reduce the price of the whole sword, but did what they could to make the blade actually good. Because I've gotten cheap katana with much worse blades than this before. And other than the obviously fake Hamon, this thing is solid. I mean, it's going to do what you need it to do for just recreational cutting. So I have no complaints about the actual blade. And I guess I can't really call it complaints about the cheapness of the rest of it, because it was $50 fucking. What do you want? So if you want a nice starter katana that's not going to cost you too much, that you're just going to be able to cut stuff with for fun, this is a very good recommendation. And I will put link in the video description, so go ahead and check that out. Just don't try to do anything heavy with it, because it won't last. The blades, it's not going to like snap and murder you or anything, but it will bend if you push the limits of this blade. So I guess that's about it. And whenever this rain decides to fuck off, and when we get some cooler weather, I'll be back in the woods doing a proper cutting video with this and some bigger jugs. So have a good one, everybody, and I'll see you next time. And video, you know, I keep just doing this because it's easy. I'm holding this like this, I'm holding this like this, and I go like this, but that's not cool. Like, I'm making videos, I'm trying to be cool. I can't do that. I gotta do it the cool way. So, the cool way would be cut. Wait. I have like a special way that I do this. It's like even cooler than the standard way. I'm actually going to kind of switch this video because it's short, and I'm going to switch this video into showing a few ways that you can resheath the katana. And I think I made a video on this before, but I'm going to mention some stuff again. Generally, the idea is, after you do a cut, you want to resheath the blade. So you cut, and then you go like this, and you rest the back of the blade against your fingers. And then when you draw that out, you'll feel it click in to the end of the sheath, and then you could just slide that in like so. And there you go. But I do this different thing, where after a cut, I actually let the katana rotate in my hand, so I'm holding the backhand like this, and then I draw that along, and it goes in that way, and I definitely like doing that. And obviously it doesn't have to be after a cut. If you're just holding the blade and you want to sheath it, you can very easily just go like this. And the thing is, much like you don't look at explosions, you don't look at the sheath, because if you look at the sheath, that makes you a fucking nerd. And I look at the sheath all the time, just absent-mindedly, like I was doing before, where I'm just holding it and I want to end the video, and so I'm going like this just to like wrap it up, but I'm not thinking about it, but that's not it. You make fucking sword videos, you gotta be fucking cool, guys. You gotta be cool.